Honestly, it looks cute.
Oh, man. Bye, bitch. Hello, welcome to our pool party. Wahoo.
Oh, I need to take my flip-flops off.
I want to get closer. How do we get closer? We don't. There we go. Just kidding. There are some bugs in here. I don't know if you can see the hose is still in here.
It be what it be.
We got cute glasses and drinks. We might have left them out in the sun for an hour.
But hey, they were completely frozen and now they are drinkable. What's this say? Time to wind down with not wine.
No, they're like cocktails.
I don't remember what mine was. Peach something.
Hopefully you can hear us. And mine was like a strawberry banana. And it's not real. Yeah.
Oh, fun. I didn't know what it was. It just said Jamaican Me Crazy. I didn't read the flavor.
I got this at Pride. Bye, bitch. Bye, bitch. Just saying. Okay. Hopefully this all works out.
I don't know where to put my phone. We'll put it.
But hi, welcome to the Music Lens podcast. 6 months in with Alex Allegra
and Katie B. I'm like,
I forgot how this works.
To the script. I don't know what to do.
Been like a month since we recorded.
It has been. Almost.
And now we're outside, and my neighbors are probably like, "Who are these weird people?" But I bought a pool so that we could have a little pool party with you guys for 6 months. Woo!
Nice.
And you have a lot of grass on you, by the way.
How though? Oh my god.
I think it was from sitting inside.
Honestly,
actually.
I think this is not from outside. This is from your carpet.
I know. It's from Aunt dragging in stuff from outside.
Yeah.
Who's here? Aunt Man, come here. Come in the pool. You want in the pool?
I feel good.
Do you want the pool? No? Okay.
He's like, nah.
He might show up later. But yes, this is my backyard. And we figured it'd be fun to do a little music review, 6 months, hot takes, not just independent artists, but every artist.
Everyone. Mostly, I feel like mostly are like well-known people.
Yes. And because this is my little Easter basket, but it says Chicks Rule. But it's not an Easter basket today. Today it has fun little prizes. Yes. Not really prizes, but also, I really thought this was going to be high energy. It's very quiet out here, and it's hot. So
we're in a heat advisory right now, so this was probably not the best week to be doing the pool part, but at least the water's cool.
Pool feels amazing, though.
So that's good. But yeah. Anything before we dive in, or are we just gonna dive in and then?
Well, okay. So it's been a month since we recorded, so we haven't seen each other in a month. So how is life, Katie?
How is life? It's good. It is surprisingly, I feel like it's slowing down in the middle of summer for some reason. So looking at my calendar for July, I was like, oh, there's not much on here.
I have nothing in July, nothing in August, which sounds honestly amazing. I just want to enjoy summer again. I want to go back to being a kid when you have summer vacation and you got to do what you wanted.
But the heat, summer is like too hot now with global warming, unfortunately. It's like hard to do things in the summer.
Because I used to be able to do 3-hour shows in this kind of heat and not feel like I was going to pass out, and now I'm over here like dying. I mean, we even have this was all ice, and now it's not. So
yeah, it goes quickly. Yeah, I guess I don't know how much catch up we want to do because I think we're also just doing like a generic catch-up episode at some point.
No, this will be like
this both.
We'll probably do part 1 and part 2 for this episode. And stop eating the grass.
But it's so yummy for dogs.
I don't know what he's eating.
I don't know humans that eat grass. I hope you don't.
Oh, one time I was at a show. And I was playing this little farmer's market, and my mom and my aunt were there, and I'm like playing, I'm singing, and I'm like, oh, there's like a bunch of kids dancing, and it was so cute. And then this random like guy in his like 20s to 30s comes over, and I was like, okay, a little weird, right? And then he's dancing. I'm like, okay, cool, dude. And I'm like looking at my mom. We're kind of laughing. We're like, oh, like, not to be mean, but like we were just like, oh, okay. And then they didn't notice, but the second I got in the car, I was like, did you notice that guy? And she was like, yeah, he was just dancing. I was like, yeah, but he literally swept the ground, picked up a piece of grass, and ate it. And I was like, what did I just see?
That's weird.
And I was trying so hard not to laugh in the middle of a song. I was just like, whoa. And I'm like looking at my mom, like, did you just see that? And she's like, yeah, we're dancing. And I'm like, no, what part. The fuck just happened? Yeah. And I told her the second we got in the car, I was like, did you see what happened? And she was like, no, what? Told her that, and then she calls my aunt who's in the car in front of us, and she's like, you have to hear what just happened. I was like, yeah, it was
you missed this
weird.
Yeah.
So yes, some humans do. I was just like, okay.
I had to avoid laughing at one of my shows back home because
yeah, Katie just got back from tour.
Yes, I did a little mini leg of tour. I have another leg in August. But like my sister, brother-in-law, nephew, mom, and then paternal grandparents were all at this show. And my nephew, he's going on 5, so he's just like playing and running around a little bit and stuff. He like I think fell down or something and hurt his butt. And he
I hurt my butt a lot too.
He needed to, I guess, show the alley to my mom or something because he just like pulled down his pants and flashed everybody. And I'm in the middle of Loretta Lynn, like, do not laugh, do not laugh. So and I look away and just like distract myself of like stay focused in the song, do not laugh. Yeah, it was fun. The weather was pretty good. Other than some wind issues, my banner tried to kill me on the last show.
It happened at Kate's show too when we were at Musician's Corner. Remember, like
the entire
backdrop just went
goes away, but that went backwards.
Yeah,
mine was going forwards, and I'm like trying to keep an eye on it. And I had one more chorus left of American Kids, Kenny Chesney, and was like, "I'm sorry, y'all, I gotta stop because this is about to fall over and hit me." And as I say that, it does fall, and I catch it with my hand, so I avoid it knocking me out. If I wasn't paying attention, it probably would have hit me. So I had to just take my banner down for the rest of the show, which was kind of sad because like promotion.
Yeah.
And just had to like mention that my information's on the front of my bucket instead of the banner. And would just like later in the show when I like once again my name's Katie Fee, be like, my banner tried to kill me, so it's not up, but the same QR code's on the front of the bucket to find me on social. So, but yeah, I had some nights 2 and 3 were at the same location at Sprocket's Fun Foundry, which is like an arcade and stuff. So there's kids. And so Saturday night I was set up, I was waiting for it to be time to start. And this mom came over with her 2 daughters and was like, were you the singer last night? They have a question for you. And they're like, can we get your autograph?
Aw, that's cute.
So I got to sign an autograph. And then at the end of that show, they came back and she's like, they have another question for you. And they asked for a picture. So
that's cute.
I was like, and they're like cheering me on throughout whenever they were like walking in and out. But yeah, I was just like, dang, now I have to make it because these people are counting on me. I don't know. That was my thought. I'm like, okay, well, now I have to do it for the little girls who are like, you're gonna be so famous.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, so cute.
Okay, well, we will jump into today's episode. Today,
holy
like I said,
flies.
hot. Yeah, I know. I don't know why there's so many flies of all things. But before, I just would like to take my dog inside so he doesn't overheat because
that sounds.
Into today's episode. Sorry, you have to see the flies.
So many flies. So much sweat.
So we're going to pick from our fancy schmancy bucket, and we're going to read off, it's so hot in this bucket, a piece of paper. And it will have we're going to focus on albums and then singles that made big impacts for us. But this is completely our own takes, takes from Alex and Katie's minds. If you have disagreements, start a conversation.
Yes.
Don't bully people. Opinions are opinions for a reason. They're allowed to have them. I'm not hurting anybody with my opinions. So, Maybe feelings, but
okay.
Okay. Should I start or should you start?
Well, you pulled one, so.
Oh, and it's mine anyway. So
there you go.
The first one is Bruises by the band Camino. So I love the band Camino. Katie does not know who the band Camino is. It's not a song. It's an album. They released a little EP. And the reason I also brought this was because I was like, what is with EPs lately? Like, I get you and I doing EPs because we have no money. But, like, artists like them, I think they're signed. Band Camino, if you'd like to chime in here. Are you signed?
Do you watch us?
No. But I love your music. I would love to write with you guys one time. I think we'd be great friends. But why do you guys put out so many EPs and then you don't put the songs on the records? Because I was looking through your discography the other day trying to get records for my record player, and I brought your first album and your second album, but like the EP you guys had originally with like 214 and stuff like that on it, I want that, but it's not a thing. And then now this is Bruises. You have EP, but I'm like, is this going to be part of another project, or is it going to be another project? Why the fuck are there so many flies? Where I don't get the songs. But Nostalgia is a great song off of it. It's just a fun song. It sounds very much like all their other music. Listen to all their other music and you figure out what this stuff sounds like. It's very good. But I love the band Camino. Talk about a light show. They're a fucking concert. I saw them in Wisconsin and Madison, and they have like a whole glow-in-the-dark thing. I think that was the name of the tour, though, but something with glow-in-the-dark. But it was really cool.
Fun. Oh, my God.
It just shows that even if you're small, you can still have really good lighting.
Yes.
So people that don't have good lighting at their shows, coming for you. Okay. Yeah. Katie's turn.
Ooh. Rise and Fall, Scotty McCreery.
Oh, good, because I don't know Scotty McCreery, so I know of him, but I haven't seen him since American Idol, really. So
yeah, this is like one of my top 3 albums of the first half of the year, and it's very 90s. Why? We're just dealing with bugs and stuff. It's fine.
I knew I should have gotten bug spray, but oh well.
It's all right. It's very 90s inspired. Like, he's talked about how it's inspired by music he's grown up on and stuff, so you can tell that 90s influence, and a lot of it sounds like 90s songs. So I just love that inspiration and having a modern album that sounds like it could also be from the 90s. So Rise and Fall album title is from Fall of Summer, the song. Which the hook is like, here's to the rise and fall of summer, which is his radio single right now. So I like that song. Trying to think. Can't Pass the Bar is a really fun one. It's very much like Ain't Going Down Till the Sun Comes Up, Garth Brooks type song.
When you said that, because I have a lawyer boyfriend, I literally thought you meant the bar.
No, like, that's kind of like, I guess, the double meaning of it, of like good old boys who can't pass the bar, of like they can't not go to the bar when they're driving by it, I guess, but also kind of having that double meaning with the bar of like lawyer talk bar. So that's a fun song.
That's cool.
But yeah, the whole album's really great.
Stupid flies, go away. Why are you here?
Why are you here? Okay, let's go on to the next.
Okay, I don't know this one. Dust Off Your Boots, Adam Mack.
We saw him at Pride.
We did, and I actually do know this song specifically because my friend Alana is in the music video, so I watched it to see her in it.
It's a fun music video. I haven't watched the whole thing, but I've seen clips of it.
He's interesting from the aspect of, like, he's so glitzy and glammy, and then, like, it's in a summer camp setting.
It's camp bougie.
Yeah, everybody's, like, campy, and then he's like, bitch, I am here.
Yeah, but I mean, it can have both meanings of camp then, kind of in a way, of like summer camp,
there you
and then
go,
camp,
and then
camp,
like Met Gala camp.
Yeah, I was like, how do I describe the other camp? But I hope you know
what
I mean.
Camp.
Yeah, camp. But yeah, that's just a fun song. We didn't get to hear him sing that because we didn't see his actual set, but he came out with I
was all for going to see him. Let me just say. I was not standing out in the sun for 4+ hours to wait for the next thing. No offense to Pride. I loved it. Had a great time. I have stood out in the sun for so many weeks on end that I got to Pride. I literally had just gotten home from Oregon and was like, I have been gone for a week. I have been every which way. I've been from Bonnaroo till here. Like, I was like, I can't do another day. Because at Bonnaroo, I almost passed out. 12 hours in the sun waiting for Post Malone, and I almost passed out. So I was like, I can't do that again. And I know it's not that long. But again, we spent all day there after we got there. So that's why I was like, I'm sorry, my loves, but I cannot do that. So, and I'm glad we didn't try going and coming back because
parking
would have been awful, and
it's just a lot.
It was just a lot.
Yeah, he played, I want to say, like 1 something, and then Brooke Eden wasn't until 5:30, and I was kind of confused because I thought schedule-wise it looked like it was literally like Adam and then a big gap in time and then Brooke, but there's someone playing before her, so maybe I just like read it wrong or they added people and didn't
there was a bunch of drag queens that came and sang.
Yeah, but that was just, by the time we got there, yes, it was still hot, but it was also getting to be evening, so it did help that the sun was going down.
And we got so many, like, we had drinks and food and water and popsicles, and we tried everything to cool ourselves down.
They were handing out fans and sweat towels. You bought a fan.
And we were already, like, dying of heat by that time, so I couldn't imagine. I mean, now we're sitting out at 1 o'clock in 100-degree heat, and we're already dying. So.
Yeah.
Can't imagine being packed. I mean, we were barely next to people, and I could feel their body heat radiating off of each other. Like, I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah. But, yeah, Adam, he's great. He's high energy. Would have loved to see him full band, but I'm sure he'll have something in town at some point that we can see him again.
Sure,
I first saw him, our friend Christian Beach, his debut as an artist at the Listening Room was in a round with him and Brent Snyder and someone else. So I first heard of him when they were in a round together. But
sorry, I didn't know that was gonna make so much noise.
But yeah, he's awesome.
So
would you like to do the next person?
It's your turn.
Oh, I'm not gonna remember who did what. Oh, Olive's Emily Myers. Emily is one of our friends in town, and she's put out a handful of singles this year. That was the first one, but I would say my favorite of the 3, so that's why I wrote that one. Has a really fun fiddle part, and it's just like a fun country rockin' type song.
Her music's very, like, each song is very different. I feel like in the country realm, like, she definitely goes to, like, the extremes of, like, the rock country towards, like, the country to, like, pop country. So it's like,
I kind of do that too, though, because listen to, like, Haven't Even Poured the Whiskey compared to If It Wasn't for You or Ghost. Those are like,
but they all sound like you.
That's true.
I don't know.
Yeah,
not in a bad way.
No,
it's just my commentary on her music.
Yeah,
I like when artists can do a whole lot. So
yeah. I guess there's not much else to say for that one. Just that's probably my favorite that she put out this year. And again, fiddle part is, I'll probably mention fiddle on a couple of these things just because.
So really, apparently Katie added so many because there's just a lot of fiddles.
Maybe 3. It's fine.
Next. Stop flies. I don't know why I have so many flies. I really don't.
Many. Okay. At least they're not wasps.
Indifferent, Megan Maroney. Katie wrote this one, but I love Megan, so like.
Have you heard that one?
No, I've only heard her single Man on the Moon.
That's the most recent one. She's put out like 3 or 4 or something like that this year already, and her album comes out next month.
Some of these we just included the singles because their albums don't come out till July, but we're really trying to like say, well, we put together this whole thing in mind because we had so many albums that were coming out originally when we wanted to make it was in March, and like a bunch of them didn't come out till May. So then we were like, okay, so we had to put a stopping point at one point, and this was our stopping point, and we just said we can talk about whatever. And so plus, we'll do another one. Most things that are coming out next month, like you kind of get the gist of like they've released like little tidbits of songs or come in the pool.
We just didn't want to wait for everything to charge up too long because it is We've already been outside for a minute, and it's very hot.
Come in.
Get in the
pool.
The pool.
No. Okay.
Go in the shade then, at least. Or in.
Oh. Go inside. You want to go in?
I know, you're hot, buddy. Go in. Good job.
Okay. Also, it's like dangerously coming over the edge. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know how it's like almost gonna overflow over here, but
we can't move it.
We're afraid of breaking, popping, or ripping the pool if we
part
try to move
2
it.
might be a lot better, but this is part 1. So
yeah, are we doing part 2 indoors? Or are we trying again? We'll see what happens. We make no commitments.
No.
This is get in there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait a little bit.
Okay. So
I guess I don't know who pulls.
You pulled Emily, so it's my turn.
Okay.
So, Hit Me Hard and Soft, Billie Eilish. Something completely new we haven't seen before. We didn't just record this and accidentally.
Definitely didn't do that.
No, how dare you think that?
Should have brought my fan. Although mine was a little
decrepit.
Not as quality, and
no, I bought this for like $30. Anywho, so Billie Eilish's new album. Oh, so I bought it on vinyl, and because my boyfriend and I went to a vinyl shop for the day, and it was. First time you're gonna hear everything because the quality of those mics are so nice. And the vinyl shop had it, and it was just out, and it was one of those albums that. How did I describe it? Oh yeah, it was such a nice background one. I put it on my vinyl player. You sit and you like hang out in your room, and then I like you listen to the lyrics and like they just like hit you in like a. What?
I had condensation hit my leg and it was really cool.
You had like I see the TikTok all the time and like little bits of like different songs. And I'm just like, oh, such heartbreaking lyrics. And I think I said that her just like she has such a great way of doing the slow and soft, but still making such a euphoric concert out of it, and not just feeling like all you want to do is cry the whole time. Like I'm sure there's a place and time for it. I'm just gonna mix in the other ones. We'll just read through one because we're not getting genuine reactions now, so we need to forget,
forget what you said and remember.
Yeah. So that was my Billie Eilish one that didn't make it in a couple seconds ago. So.
Woohoo! Okay.
Katie's turn.
Drinkin' Buddies, which is a single, and it's a collaboration by Lee Bryce, Haley Witters, and Nate Smith.
Okay. I know who Lee Bryce is and Haley Witters.
Okay.
I don't know this song though.
Nate Smith is like a more up and coming country artist. He sang with Avril on the AC Awards.
Oh, okay.
I have that
was that one.
too, and I have comments on that. But I don't know. This one's just like a fun like party song that I like the collaboration of like having 3 different artists on a song, and I feel like it could definitely be like an event of the year type thing if it was like marketed and like if the song was getting radio play and stuff. But I don't.
Has Lee Bryce been getting radio play lately?
I doubt it. I don't actually know because I don't pay too much attention to radio stuff. The most I pay attention is like I'll see people post on Instagram when their song goes number 1, but otherwise I wouldn't know that it went number 1. It's the only reason I knew Wild Horses and Wildflowers and Wild Horses went number 1 for Laney was because of Instagram. But he might be in the same boat at this point as like I guess I don't listen to XM as much anymore either, but there was like a problem I felt of The Highway says they play the newest stuff, but then older artists would just get thrown onto Y2K.
Yeah, and then all their new stuff gets put on there too, and it's like, but it's not.
Like Randy Houser had that issue of like, oh, we're just gonna put it on the Y2K station even though it's new music, because he's just not like at the same level as he was back then. But it's still He could be if you actually gave him a chance and played the new music and put it in front of your audience. So,
because I know Lee Bryce still tours a lot because we do.
He puts on a great show. But yeah, it's just, I think that's a fun song. That's in my rotation because it's just a fun party.
Well, that's probably why he did it with more new people too, is so that he could have a chance of getting back on too.
And I like that they included a woman too. That's nice because there are some songs where it's like we're gonna just have 3 guys singing. I mean, I think of like, The Only Way I Know was like a big event thing of Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, and Eric Church because it was like those are 3 of the top guys at the time in like mid 2000s,
right?
Or like early 2010s, whenever that was.
You know, it reminds me of like when in like 2010s eras when all the girls had to pair up with a guy so that their songs would actually get attention on the radio stations and then they could put out their own music. That's how it reminds me.
Yeah. I mean, there's still artists who I feel like they're duetting with a bunch of guys right now, but their own stuff I think is still doing well regardless of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the more you have out there, the more collaborations, that's the more streams you're getting.
Right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
It
all just felt like that was the only way that like a girl, like women on radio on country were getting any airplay. Like, and it was even commented on them at the time when the whole change the combo thing had become a thing. So
yeah. All right. Thank you. Next one. Sorry. I don't want to like get blinded by sweat in my eye.
If we met now, Paige Rose. I know who Paige Rose is, but I don't know the song.
Yeah, she's a tour stop person, and it's an album that she put out.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like there's, trying to think, I want to say she released a lot of the singles last year, but then also this year, and then there was maybe one song that wasn't out yet by the time the album dropped, but they're all really good songs of like, Between Me and Jesus is a really good one.
I know that song because she played it at Bus Call and it was like, oh, that's such a good song.
Yeah.
But, like, what's the concept of the album? Like, why is it If We Met Now?
I mean, that's just a song on the album. I don't know if it really has, like, an overall arching theme to it. But, yeah, I like it. I think it's a good collection of songs, and she's been doing really well. Trouble was released last year because I remember we shared a release date for Hello Good Times. Came out the same day, so it was July last year, but that one got a music video played on CMT and stuff, so she's been doing a lot of cool things.
I remember that.
But yeah,
gotta call out the independent artists as well.
Yeah, include someone who put out an album that's an independent artist. That's kind of I don't think I've officially met her. We've only interacted on socials from me sharing her music, but like just wanted to put someone that's kind of like in the same esque circles as us in town. Support some independent artists. So Houdini Eminem, that's for you.
I only put it on because Katie had this huge stack and I was like, I mean where and I mean this sounds okay, so my boyfriend is a big Eminem fan, so of course he was going to play me the new Eminem song. So, and I've definitely grown to appreciate Eminem a lot more over the past couple of years because of him. I know it's so hot. And then
I'm just dripping condensation on purpose at this point. I'm like, okay, go for it. It feels good.
And then it definitely sounds like it's supposed to, which is supposed to go back to like Slim Shady original sounding song. But is it already a song? Like, it sounds exactly like I've already heard it, but I guess it's not.
Does,
it's fine.
Lipa have a Houdini song? Okay. Yeah.
But
maybe that's why, just because there's another song with that name from
But it samples, an old Steve Miller Band song, I believe.
Fun.
Abracadabra. But it's a fun song. It's fine. I did see one TikTok that was like, so was Eminem trying to tell us all along? Because on Sing, the animated movie, it goes in the audition sequence, it goes from Abracadabra with the magician bunny, and then the next artist sings I'm Slim Shady, yes I'm the real Shady, and it's so I was like, oh my god, that's funny. But yeah, there wasn't really much to add besides just adding it and saying it was fine. It wasn't like my cup of tea. That was like my hot take of it. It was like, and I guess a lot of people don't really think it's that like anything groundbreaking, but I'm hoping he releases a new album so he'll go on tour so that I can take my boy.
There you go.
Okay. Your turn to draw. Do one more.
Maybe one more, here. And then we will check for microphones.
My Stupid Life, Brittany Spencer.
Okay, so I felt bad that, like, when this album came out, I didn't realize it was out, and I thought she was just releasing another single. So I just, like, put a single on my, like, New Music Friday thing and didn't listen to the album, and this is my reminder that I need to listen to the rest of the album. But what I have listened to is really good. She is an up-and-coming country artist. I feel like we need to fact check ourselves, but I want to say she's one of the people who are featured on Cowboy Carter for the one song that has a lot of up-and-coming artists on there. And, yeah, she just has good vibes, good music. I feel like I need to look up the name of the song. Yeah, she is on Blackbird. Bigger Than the Song is the one I really love off that album. That's just kind of like one of those songs that talks about other songs, but saying like it's bigger than just the song, because you have all these like memories and things around the song.
I love that. I love songs about songs.
Right. I hope I'm not just like pulling that out of my ass. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Cheers it, bitch. Ugh, we can take a drink too. I don't care.
It's gonna take too long. Running Out of Time, Lily Rose. So this is an EP that I can't remember. It's not that long ago that it came out, but
Lily Rose is one of those artists that I was really happy that she was getting a chance to like step out and do something different in country music, and then I feel like she kind of just like faded away, and I was like, where was she?
She's putting out music.
I know, but it just feels like it's not getting the recognition that I think it deserves.
I have to remind myself things, as far as like, I don't know.
This is terrible, by the way.
Mine is really strong, so I haven't had much because I was like, oh, that's very alcohol tasting. The Goal is one of the songs on there, and there's like Back Pew, Parking Lot, things like that. But The Goal, I like that's like one of those like chasing your dream type songs. So, yeah. I mean, I'm just considering that we're independent artists in Nashville, I'm like partial to songs like that. So yeah. I really like that one. But overall, I just think it's a great EP. I don't really have any specifics about it, but I just wanted to shout it out.
Yeah, again, like I said, I feel like she just like, it was one of those weird kind of like, when we keep talking about the shift of country music, it was like things like that of like, there's definitely a lot of female artists in particular, that are putting out music and then they get like their big moments and then they disappear. Like Priscilla Block, I feel like is kind of in that zone too, but she'll like come back up again. Like she does like a lot of like
here, but she just put out PB2 is what it's called for her EP. And I can't remember why I didn't. I think it was just because we have so many. But yeah, she just put out an EP called PB2. So, which has fine songs on it. I don't know. She blew up really fast, and then I don't know. It's weird. But also, there's a person at my work who I heard talking about how she's like, I want a Priscilla Block bar. So I'm like, there's fans out there. She's
there definitely is. It just feels like there's just like a lot of peaks and valleys. Like she keeps just going back and forth from it instead of keeping like a consistent rise. Yeah. And obviously that's the tough part. And that's what all artists like, you get that moment, and then the tougher part is the keeping it.
Yeah.
And I totally get that. That's like everyone wants their big moment, and then but the thing that they don't realize is once you have that moment, you have to keep it or it's not. It's like it's very hard to balance that. So it's like
that's also with like equating it to like equating viral TikTok stuff to like winning a competition show. Like people think, oh, you wanted The Voice, you won Idol, you made it, but that's when the work starts really. It's like you get this chance, now you have to just like continuously work to keep that momentum and to grow your audience even more in order to keep your career going.
For sure. That's the tough part, for sure. And there's a lot of commentary on it, and probably a whole other episode of like that peak and like what we're all trying to go for, and then like how do you do it once it happens.
That is just hard to keep people's attention and keep them to where they get invested in an artist nowadays, because they're just like on to the next thing and just following trends. So yeah.
One more round each, and then we'll call it for part 1, and then we'll see you guys back for part 2. Yes. But part 2 has a lot of more bigger stuff. Maybe even part 3. There's still a lot of papers in here.
We'll see how much the singles. There's a lot of singles though, so those won't take up as much time probably.
Deeper Well, Casey Musgraves.
Okay.
We could do that.
Yes. Yeah. This one's also my top 3 of the first half.
I really wanted to love it. I really did. It's obviously easier to like talk a little shit on some of the bigger artists and some of our smaller artists in here, but because if we didn't like it, we just didn't include it. So, but Deeper Well, I wanted to love it, and there are songs on it that I absolutely do love. I like them all individually, but as an album, it gets very repetitive listening to it after a while. It sounds like it would be a good vinyl, like to put out like Billy's, like how it's nice, nice background, good vibes, you know, like very chill, have a glass of wine with it in the background, do my coloring book, you know, like that's the vibe it's giving. I really have loved all of her albums up until this one.
Okay.
Like, as whole concepts. So it's like this one was just tough of she's because I just in a very different holding pattern in her life, and it reflects that, and that's totally fine, but it's just very different. So and it's not really country folk as much as it is just pure like folk.
Well, I think she's kind of in the way of Taylor, where she's not focused on any genre, and it's just like each album is whatever it's going to be, but it's not necessarily like I set out specifically to make X genre of an album.
Well, I wasn't even going to say Taylor. I was going to use Marin as an example. I think because country never gave her chance when she was even winning all those Grammys and stuff, and really like didn't, even afterwards they didn't play her and stuff, so she just was like, F you guys, I'm going to do what I'm always done and always will do and still have the fans to prove it. And I don't need your radio play, so I'm just going to create the music that I'm in love with. And luckily that's what the fans are also in love with. So it works for her. Some people don't get the chance to do that and keep a career as steady and huge as hers.
She's established a loyal fan base where she can do what she wants at this
point. Because there are plenty of people that have that loyal fan base but are so underground with it. Like Kip Moore brings an example to mind. Like he can sell out any of his tours, but they're underground tours. They're not like selling out Bridgestone like she is. So it's like a very different level that she's been very fortunate to have sustained. And I think that goes all back to the fact that she is such a good songwriter. So it's like
she's one of those artists that's like, it doesn't matter like commercial success wise, award wise, any of that. Like she has her loyal fan base, so she can just do what she wants. Like I think of like Kenny Chesney doesn't really get any award nominations, but he's selling out stadiums, so he has his base.
He also just has his long time fans, and he plays all the hits at the songs. Casey's still not as down the road as he is, but or people like Eric, or
Eric is.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize the doggy was that.
Eric definitely is another where it's like he has the loyal fan base who knows all the like deep cuts and things like that, so he doesn't care about having those awards. He does still get nominated for stuff, but he's like, it's not about that for me. But yeah, Casey, I would say
Casey is like Marin is like that for me, where like it doesn't really matter what she does, I still love it, kind of. But she's not really in a genre anymore. So
yeah, you were saying like concept wise, this one necessarily isn't.
Here's my thing. Whenever people go and get married and have just happy little lives, sometimes the albums reflect that, and it's just I'm not a whole album of love songs kind of person. Married? She definitely has at least a boyfriend.
Yeah, she has something.
Yeah. So it's just not, and she's healed a lot, which, again, I'm all for, like, those kinds of albums existing and being, they're just not always for me. It was like when Marin got married and had her kid, and then the album after that was all about how she has a husband and has a kid. And, like, sometimes those albums just, like, don't sit with me. And it's just a personal preference.
I was just gonna say, I didn't, like, was it Starstruck was the one before this one?
Oh, really?
Like, I liked it as a concept overall, but I wouldn't, like, listen to
specific songs. I loved that album.
You can listen to, that like, pick songs out of it to listen to individually.
For me, her last album, I don't remember what it was called, but
I think it was Starstruck.
It was, like, Star-Crossed or something.
Star-Crossed.
Yeah. Also, you have an ant on your forehead.
Fun. There was,
but for me,
the little sidewalk art things all over downtown for it.
For me, that was an album that I'd have to listen to it all, and it was so good.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't just, like, pick out songs. But it was, like, as an album, I loved it.
Goodness.
There's the doggy. Her name's Bella.
Oh, fun.
She wants to play. She likes to play with Ant.
Are we going to go inside?
Yes, I think
we're going to end this one, and then we're going to do a part 2 inside where I'm not completely just sweat.
But 6 months, happy 6 months, happy pool party day.
We're technically like 5 months into the podcast.
Oh, we're not 6 months? I thought we were.
We started in February.
Whoopsies. Okay, well.
It's okay. This is episode 20 if this one's coming out first, though. So, there we go. Happy 20th episode. It's still a milestone, even if it's not 6 months.
It is.
It's a different one. So, yeah.
Bye.
We will be back inside.
Well, we need to record our outro, I guess. I know. Really fast. Sorry.
So check out part 2 next week inside, where we're not dying of heat stroke. But if you have comments, thoughts on the songs and albums that we've talked about, you can comment them on the YouTube video or on our social post for the episode, or you can email us at themusiclenspodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us at the Music Lens Podcast on all the socials. Follow Alex at Alex Lager Music on things, and then me is at KDP Music on things. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
I'm like trying to speak fast. I'm trying to